Namaste, my loves. Welcome to day one of this 30 Days of You online yoga course, where together we are going to kickstart 2022 in the most uplifting, empowering and positive way possible. So today's flow is going to be a beautiful, nourishing vinyasa style flow called DETOX. Now I don't mean just detox. Well, he hasn't clearly got the memo. This is a serious online course. Anyway, we are not just going to be detoxifying the body from too much wine or too much cheese over the Christmas festivities, but also detoxifying it from any bad habits, any negative emotions, anything that has been weighing us down or keeping us on an unhealthy path emotionally. So today's flow is going to involve a lot of hip openers and a lot of twists. Twists not only are physically good for the body, but also allows us to open up our heart chakra, while opening up the hips allows us to reconnect and reground with the earth. So if you have any props that you might feel will benefit your practice, such as block, bolsters, anything, you're welcome to grab them now. But you're going to go and get yourself set up. This flow is around 45 minutes long, and when you're ready, my darlings, row, and I will meet you back here so we can get started. Okay, so to begin today's flow, you're going to come straight away into your child's pose. Now, this might be the first child's pose you've done in a while. Maybe it's the first child's pose you've done today. So you can take those knees as wide as it feels comfortable for you. Sometimes, if you take them too far apart immediately, it can be a bit too much for those hips. So just taking them as wide as feels comfortable, bringing those big toes together, and you're just going to settle the body all the way down. And just letting those arms hang heavy for the first few breaths as you start to scan yourself all the way from the crown of the head to the tops of the toes. Starting to scan yourself emotionally and physically, checking in with how you're feeling. Maybe you're excited about this new year, maybe you're a little bit anxious. Maybe you're tired today, maybe you're hungover. Or maybe you're just ready to kickstart this new year in the best way possible. So wherever you are, you're just going to begin to roll the forehead from left to right on the mat, starting to massage the space between those eyebrows. Massaging away any stress, any headaches you've been having, any worries that have been sitting here as we open up this third eye, letting it bring us clarity and letting it bring us wisdom for the year ahead. Now over the next 32 days, we are going to meet as a collective coven on the mat and start to explore who you are, your likes, your dislikes, your yoga practice, your emotions. Starting to realize that you can control how you react to situations, even if sometimes it doesn't feel like it. And starting to realize the power that each day holds, because there's nothing holding you back from being a new person or coming at a situation with a new mindset. We are ever evolving, we are ever changing, we are ever growing. Now from this child's pose, we're just going to start to activate our body a little bit more by pressing into those hands to extend them forward and lift the elbows off the mat. So starting to draw those shoulder blades together, opening up this heart. And we're going to hold this active child's pose for 10 more breaths. Fingers are spread wide, connecting with the earth beneath those fingertips and beneath the tops of our feet, allowing it to help us feel grounded and helping us feel strong. So holding here for 5 more breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose.
And then let's start to find some space in the body, my love. So taking a deep inhale through the nose. On your exhale, going to walk those hands all the way over to the left-hand side of your mat. I'm going to keep the right hand exactly where it is. We're going to start to slide the left arm down as if we're reaching for something at the back of the mat, almost creating like a C shape. Beautiful. Inhale to move back into the center. Walk those hands over to the right-hand side. Left hand stays where it is. Right hand slides if you want to grab something from the back of the mat. Beautiful. Bringing the right hand back into the center. We're going to gaze between those thumbs as we press into the hands to roll this body into our tabletop position. So start to shuffle this body into your tabletop, shoulders stacked over those wrists, hip bones over those knees. And from here, we're going to start to bring in some spinal waves, so a little bit of movement into the spine. Now, what we're going to do is going to work with our breath. So on your inhale, you drop that chest to gaze all the way forwards, but you're going to start to move those hip bones all the way back to the heels. As you exhale, you curve into those shoulders and roll the body all the way back up. Inhale to arch that spine, drop the hips back to the heels. Exhale to roll the body up. Now these waves don't have to be perfect. Maybe just close the eyes here. Getting lost in how the spine feels rather than how it looks. Recognizing that if your body is craving that shoulder stretch as you curve it to move upwards, or that arch of the spine as you drop the hips back to the heels. So taking this movement a few more times, my loves. Forwards and backwards. If you find that maybe it doesn't suit your practice today, then you're welcome just to take the classic cat-cow by just staying in your tabletop, dropping the chest with the exhales and curving it with the inhales. Or the other way around. And then without rushing, the next time that you curve that spine to bring yourself back into a tabletop position, you're going to walk these knees together and we're going to bring our left hand into the center of the mat. From here, we inhale, take the right hand up to the sky. Exhale to begin to wrap it behind the body. Now maybe this hand touches those ribs or maybe you're able to find the thigh. But opening up the shoulder for 5. Testing our balance and our core for 4. 3, 2, and 1. With control, release the right hand to the mat. We inhale, left hand comes to the sky, and let's take this twist again. So wrapping it around, maybe those fingertips find the ribs, or maybe you find the thigh. But opening up that shoulder, engaging this core for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Release the left hand back to the mat. Taking these wrists just underneath the shoulders. I'm going to keep these knees together and let's start to wake up the core just a little bit more. So from here, you're going to inhale to send that right leg all the way out. And on your exhale, you're going to bend this knee and bring it all the way into the chest. Hugging it up as close as you can get it. Almost if you want to kiss that knee. Hold it here. And then inhale to send it out. Exhale to bring it in. Inhale to send it out. We're going to take this 10 more times. So when you're ready, moving with me for 10. For 9. Taking it out. Bring it in for 8. For 7. Beautiful, guys. Nice and slowly. For 6. For 5. Bringing it in for 4. For 3. For 2. Yes. And for 1. Hugging it all the way in. Hold it here. 5. Point those toes. 4. 3. 2. Yes. And 1, release the right knee down straight away. We're going to take it to the other side. So on our inhale, we send the left leg all the way out. Exhale to bring it in for 10, 9, 8. Don't worry, it burns for everyone. For 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, you've got this, for 2, and for 1, hug it up nice and close for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release those knees down, giving those hips a little bit of wiggle before we tuck the toes, and send the hip bones into the sky to move to our first down dog of the flow and of the 30 days of you. So we're going to take this movement nice and mindfully now, not just wiggling those legs, really pushing into those heels as you bend one leg, pushing into the heel as you bend another. Nice and slow, feeling those hips wiggle as you take this movement. Beautiful. And let's start to open up these hips now. One final warm-up move as we inhale. Exhale to drop those knees to the mat, and straight away we're going to step this left foot outside of the mat. So we want to keep an eye on our knee here. We never want this knee to flow over the ankle. If anything, we want it just a little bit back or in line. But we're going to move to our lizard pose. So from here, you're going to walk this left leg as far as it feels comfortable and start to move into this right hip. You might stay on your hands. Maybe you have a couple of blocks here to give you some support, or maybe if you have the space today, you pivot onto the side of the left foot and move to the forearms. We're going to aim to hold this stretch for 30 seconds, so it can be quite intense. Or if you want to go deeper, you can take the left hand onto this knee and push it a little bit more open. Lizard pose, an intense pose. This winter sun is not helping. So holding wherever you are for 20 more seconds, keeping those inhales and those exhales nice and steady. Beautiful. 10 more seconds, my loves. You've got this. Yes, and if you're on those forearms, you're going to gently move on to the hands, and then all together, we're going to roll back this left arm, send it to the back of the mat, so start to open up the chest. If you feel like you can find that back foot, you're welcome to bend the back leg, opening up the heart here for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Release this back foot. Left hand comes into the mat, and from here, we're going to step all the way back into our plank. So coming on those tippy toes, shoulders just above the wrist. Hold it here for 1. And for 2, drop the knees. Bend the elbows close to the chest. Take your first vinyasa. On your inhale, we move back into your upward dog to open the chest. Remember, don't drop these shoulders to the ears. Roll them back to find the space. And then exhale to come back to tabletop, and we're going to move to lizard pose on the right hand side. So step this right foot outside of the hand and find your way into your lizard pose, however it might look. Maybe you recognize if you have more space on one side than you do on the other. That's okay. Just starting to find your pose where you are. Holding for 30 seconds wherever you might be, maybe on the hands, maybe on the forearms. But always keeping an eye on that knee. We never want it over that ankle. Keep the strength here for 20 more seconds. 10 more seconds. You've got this. Start to tune into that mindfulness skill of keeping your inhales and your exhales nice and steady. And then if you're on your forearms, move back to those hands. From here, left hand stays to the mat. You roll back the right shoulder, extend to the back of the mat. Maybe from here, you find the foot and open it up. Don't worry if you can't find that foot. Just keep that arm stretching back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that back foot. Find your way into your plank. Hold your plank for 1. And for 2, knees up, knees down. This time it's your choice, but bend those elbows close to the chest. On your inhale, find your way to upward dog. On your exhale, tuck those toes and find your way into your down dog. Now we're going to aim to hold our down dog here for 5 breaths. But if you find that it's maybe too much today, that is absolutely okay. Drop those knees to a tabletop, or even come to a child's pose. But wherever you are, we're just going to hold this pose for 5 inhales and 5 exhales. If those heels don't quite touch the floor, you're going to bend those knees slightly and send the hip bones high for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Those big toes come to touch at the back of your mat, and we inhale to sweep the right leg to the sky. Bend this knee off as if you want to draw the right foot over to the left hand side to open these hips. And from here, we're going to begin to take some circles with this knee. So rolling this leg in one direction, moving and taking it in the other. Beautiful. On your inhale, move back to split dog. On your exhale, draw this knee into the chest and we step it between the thumbs. Lower this back leg down to find your way to a low lunge. So keeping this knee stacked on top of the ankle. From here, we're going to inhale, take those arms all the way up to the sky, roll back the shoulders. Exhale to bend those elbows, so those elbows coming in line with the shoulders to move to our cactus arms. So pulling back on those hands slightly to open up the chest. Staying here for a few moments. Belly button comes in, up those ribs to keep your core engaged. Beautiful. Take a deep inhale. And then on your exhale, we bring these hands into prayer. And we're going to find our way to our prayer twist. So start to hook this left elbow over the right knee. And we're going to not take any tension to our neck. You're going to gaze at the back of the room. Opening up this heart. Now maybe you stay here. Or if you like to explore, you can tuck those back toes and lift all the way up, pushing into this back heel. Hold it here for 3 breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose. Yes. And then with control, those hands frame the front foot. Step into your plank and make your way through vinyasa. Knees up, knees down, it's completely your choice. But lower the chest. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale to bend those knees, tuck those toes, and find your way to a down dog. Hold for 5 breaths. Maybe you're starting to feel the fire in your practice. Starting to feel the magic that you're creating on the mat. But wherever you are, we're going to hold it for 3, for 2, and for 1. Those big toes come to touch. On your inhale, we sweep the left leg into the sky and bend this knee off to your split dog. Again, we're going to take those hip openers. So drawing a great big circle with this knee in one direction, drawing it in another. Before we inhale, back to split dog. Exhale, draw this knee into the chest, step it between those thumbs and lower the back leg down. Finding our way once again to low lunge. From here, we inhale, take those arms to the sky, roll back those shoulders. Exhale to find your way to cactus arms, pulling back on the hands to open the heart. And if you feel like you're wobbling a little bit, that's okay. You're going to aim to square these hips off so they face the front of the mat. Oh my goodness, that sun is bright. Holding here as we inhale. Exhale. Whoop. Hands come into prayer and we hook the right elbow on this left knee. Find your way to prayer twist once more, and it's your choice as always, my loves. You can stay here, or maybe you touch the back toes, push into the back heel to lift all the way up. Pushing into that back heel, keep that back leg active for 3 more breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose. Beautiful. When you're ready, hands frame the front foot. Step into your plank, knees up, knees down, it's your choice, but bend those elbows next to the chest to lower all the way down. On your inhale, we move to upward dog. On your exhale, big toes come to touch, and you find your way to child's pose. So allow the forehead to come to the mat. You can choose to have an active child's pose by pressing into those palms to lift the elbows off the mat, or simply let them lie heavy. But we're going to give ourselves a gorgeous little rest here for a few moments, aiming to get back in control of our breath, feeling every inhale and feeling every exhale. So remember, during any of these flows over the next 30 days, you're welcome to come into child pose whenever you need a rest. But if child pose isn't your resting pose, you can choose any pose to be your resting pose. A handstand if you really fancy it. But wherever you are, we're just going to hold this pose for 5 more breaths, in through the nose and out through the nose before we come a little bit deeper into the flow. Start to add a bit more fire. So from wherever you are, you're going to take a deep inhale through the nose. And slowly exhale it all the way back out. From here, you're going to press your hands into the mat and find your way into your tabletop position, setting your roots. So spread those fingers, press into the knuckles before we tuck those toes and lift ourselves back into our down dog. Coming into a 5 breath down dog. Hold just to create a bit of strength in the body. So remember, send these hip bones as high as you can send them to the sky. Melt that heart to those knees for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, my darlings. Bring the big toes to touch. On your inhale, we sweep this right leg to the sky. Exhale to bend it off into split dog. Holding the split dog for a moment before we draw this knee into the chest. Hug it up as tight as you can go, and then step it between the thumbs. This time we're going to keep this back leg up as we move to a high lunge. So you can take those hands to the knees, or maybe you sweep them all the way to the sky as we inhale. And you're going to start to exhale into your cactus arms. I'm going to have to close my eyes, the sun is so bright. Pulling back on these hands to open up this heart. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and for 1, with control, you begin to extend these arms, and then we're going to pivot our body to move to an awkward twist. So pivoting it all the way over to the right hand side, starting to gaze back at this right hand. Maybe you stay here, or maybe this right hand starts to find its way to the left leg, coming to a little bit deeper of a twist. Hold here, 5, 4, 3 is the hard twist. You've got this for 2. And for 1, back leg is burning as you gently move to awkward twist. And then hands come to prayer. And you're going to bend into the front knee, engage the core to find your way to your prayer twist on the right hand side. Remember, we want to keep this back leg active. Push into the back heel for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the hands to the mat. Step back into your plank, knees up, knees down. Find your way through your vinyasa. Inhale to upward dog, open that heart. Exhale, bend those knees, tuck those toes, down dog for a 5-second hold. So those hip bones come nice and high to the sky. Starting to feel connected with the earth beneath you. For 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Bring these big toes to touch. Inhale, left leg comes to the sky. Bend this knee off, split dog. Opening this knee as far as it wants to go. Before we draw it into the chest, hug it up nice and tight. And then step it between those thumbs. Finding your way into your high lunge, lift the body into the sky and then bend these elbows off to come to your cactus arms. This sun is not helping my balance, so opening up this heart. For just a moment, feeling strong here. Back leg is burning. Before we engage this core and start to move to our awkward twist on the left hand side. Sending this left hand to the back of the mat, gaze at the thumb. You're welcome to stay here, or maybe this left hand starts to find the right leg, opening up for 5. It's a hard twist, don't worry. For 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Yes. Come back into this awkward twist before hands come to prayer and you find your way into this prayer twist, keeping this back leg nice and active. Now don't worry if you're finding this flow hard, it is a detox flow. So it's hitting all those meridians in the body, all those energy points. Often during the Christmas festivities, we eat our weight in cheese, drink our weight in wine. So we're detoxifying it all right now, all those bad habits. So when you're ready, hands frame the front foot, step back to plank, take your vinyasa, knees up, knees down, but lower the body all the way to the mat. Inhale, upward dog, exhale, child's pose, bring those big toes together and settle the body down. So we've got one more little flow to do. Coming in a little bit of a balance. Now, balance is one of my favourite ways to kind of test my anxiety, test how I'm feeling emotionally. So, if you struggle with it today, have no fear. This is the first flow in the 30. So, it's all right if we're feeling tired, we're feeling a little bit warm. Maybe our balance is going to be off today. That's okay. It's the first day in this 30 days of you. It might be the first flow you've done in a while. It is a detoxing flow. So let all those negative emotions, bad habits, anything kind of come to the surface and just let them go. Starting to breathe in positivity, breathe in healing. And then when you're ready, my loves, we're going to come into the final flow, which is our little twist balance. It's good fun. So when you're ready, you're going to press those hands into the mat, roll to your tabletop, tuck these toes. You know what's coming. A 5 breath down dog. By the end of these 30 days, you're going to feel so strong in this down dog. So it's okay if you hate this pose right now. Most of us do when we begin our yoga practice. But start to feel comfortable. If it's too much, again, you can always come back to your tabletop. But wherever you are, we're going to hold for 5. Hold for 4, for 3, 2, I always sing on the 2, and 1. This time, we're going to gaze between the thumbs and take as many steps as you need to bring this body all the way forwards. On your inhale, you can sweep those hands to the shins or keep the fingertips on the mat as you gaze forward to straighten the back. And on your exhale, bend those knees, find the elbows and come to your ragdoll. So letting go of any tension in this spine and in the neck. If you have a yogi forward fold already in your practice, you're welcome to find those big toes and start to move a little bit deeper. But wherever you are, just start to release before we come to our balance. So when you're ready from here, we once again inhale, fingertips to the mat or to the shins to gaze forward and straighten the back. Exhale, bend the knees, vertebrae by vertebrae. We roll the body all the way up to standing. Hands come overhead. Gorgeous full body stretch here. Gaze at the thumbs to open the throat. And then find your way into your Tandasana pose. So just your mountain pose. Roll back the shoulders, feet connect with the mat. And we're going to take a few moments of some grounding breath before we come to our balance. So I believe that balance is 98% what's going on in your mind, 1% leggings and 1% strength. When I first started doing yoga, I could not do it because my anxiety was so bad, hence the reason why I started going to yoga. So I can always know where my mental health is, how I'm feeling, just by how my balance goes. So when you're ready, we're going to take a deep inhale through the nose. And on an exhale, just sigh it out. Let's come into our balance from here. We're going to begin to shift our weight onto our right leg. So having a slight bend this knee, we don't want to lock it back, just keep that slight bend. And then we're going to start to hug the left knee into the chest. Flex this foot here, keep the back straight, belly button in and up those ribs. Now, maybe this is your balance and you stay here. Or maybe this right hand starts to hug the left knee and you start to send the left hand behind you, keeping this foot flexed. Maybe you start to take your gaze all the way back to this left hand. And we're going to aim to hold it for 5 breaths. It's okay if you wobble, come straight back into it. But holding for 5, 4, right leg burning for 3, for 2, and for 1. Come back into the center, release the left leg down, and let's take just some ankle rolls on both the feet. Or feeling that strength, feeling that fire. Now remember, it doesn't matter if you fell, I fell, it doesn't matter. This is the fun in balancing. We all fall in life, but it's what matters is how many times you get back up from this fall. So we're going to take it to the other side now. So coming to the right leg, so putting all that weight into the left leg. From here, we hug the right knee close to the body, keep this foot flexed, belly button comes in and up those ribs. When you're ready, maybe that left hand takes hold of the right knee and you send the right arm behind you. Maybe from here, you start to send that gaze back to the right thumb for 5, 4, left leg burning for 3, for 2, and for 1. Yes, my loves. Start to shake out some legs. Maybe take some hula hoop stretches of those hips as you roll it in one direction. You roll it in another. Yes. Feeling that fire in your legs, feeling the strength. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're still hungover from the night before. That is okay. We've started detoxifying. We're releasing anything that's been weighing us down, starting to come in to 2022 with a more healthier mindset. So when you're ready, my darlings, you're going to find your way back to the top of the mat. On your inhale, these arms come nice and high to the sky to gaze at the thumbs. On your exhale, bend the knees to forward fold. Inhale, we gaze forward to straighten that back. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back one leg, step back another into your plank. Let's roll through the final vinyasa of the flow. Knees up, knees down, it's your choice, but lower the body with control. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale, tuck those toes. Let's just say goodbye to our down dog here. Maybe taking some down dog movement. Anything that feels good. And if you have jumped through in your practice, you're welcome to jump through. Maybe you simply lower the knees to the mat, or you can follow me by bending the right knee, and you're going to bring this right knee to the right wrist and lower the leg down. From here, you step this left foot on top of the right and move into a seated position. From our seated position, we're going to inhale, take the hands high to the sky. Exhale, take our twist to the left-hand side. Now, we don't want to slump the spine. We want to keep it lifted, keep a long line of energy from the base all the way to the top of the neck. Starting to ease out any tension that's still remaining in this body. Aiming to make our exhales longer than our inhales. Beautiful. On our inhale, hands come back to the sky. Move the body into the center. And then exhale, let's take this twist to the right hand side again, aiming to keep the spine lovely and tall. Beautiful, moving the body back into the center. Hands are going to come to the knees. And from here, we're just going to stretch the neck by gently rolling back those shoulders, sit tall. And you're going to drop that chin into the chest. Seeing how far you can go without rolling those shoulders with it. So keeping a long spine. Allowing the back of the neck to get gorgeous stretch here. On your inhale, we lift the head and start to center all the way back, keeping this mouth shut to increase that stretch on the front of the throat. Before gently bring it back into the center, curve the spine, bring the knees into the chest. You're going to find your way back into your mat, hugging these knees nice and close and taking a few rocks from side to side. A gorgeous little stretch, a gorgeous little massage for the lower spine here. And we're just going to end our practice with a happy baby. So maybe you have the full expression, as some might call it, by taking the outside of the feet and gently pushing into those shoulders, into that lower spine. Or you can simply take the hands underneath the knees and open the legs here. But wherever you are, you push that lower spine into the mat, roll those shoulders back. Starting to create length along the spine to ease out any tension. Again, we're keeping those inhales and those exhales nice and steady here. Before these knees come gently to touch and we allow them to fall over to the right hand side, you can keep your gaze facing to the sky, or maybe you start to take your gaze over to the left hand side, so going the opposite direction of those knees. Inhale, my darlings, these knees come back to the center. Exhale, switch sides, allow them to fall to the left-hand side. The gaze can stay towards the sky, or maybe you take it over to the right-hand side. Inhale to move back into the center, hugging these knees close. You're going to lift the shoulders, lift the head, and give yourself a well-deserved hug for coming to the mat today and for conquering the flow. Giving yourself a hug for dedicating the next 30 days to you and your well-being. And then when you're ready, you're going to find your way into your Shavasana. So any position that feels good for you. Allowing those legs to extend maybe, and you're going to bring the arms down by your side. And today, as it's a detoxing flow, we're going to keep our palms facing towards the sky, so towards the sun and the moon, starting to harness their powerful and healing energy. As we come to spend the next few moments in peace and in stillness. Now to begin this Shavasana with the best foot forward, we're going to take a deep inhale, filling the lungs, filling the belly, taking as much air as you can in, holding at the top. And then on your exhale, sigh it all the way out. And we're going to take this 2 more times, imagining that with every exhale, releasing that weight that's been holding us down. I don't mean physical weight, I mean emotional weight, any burdens, any worries. So we take an inhale through the nose. And exhale all. So we take an inhale through the nose, holding at the top. And then exhale all the way out. Inhale through the nose, holding at the top. Exhale all the way out. Before resuming your normal breathing, and for the next few moments as we lie here in stillness, in the glow of the magic from our practice, I'd like you to choose one thing that you're releasing today. Just one thing that you're throwing into the sea, one thing that you're throwing into the wind, to float away from you, that you're letting go of, that no longer serves you, that no longer brings you joy or allows you to live a true and happy life. Just one thing. Picturing this one thing that you're releasing, and then picture you throwing it to the wind, watching it fly away from you, allowing you to feel lighter, allowing you to feel free. And if you would like to stay in your Shavasana a little bit longer, my loves, then you're welcome to do so. Or if you're ready to come out with me, you're going to gently start moving the fingers, moving the toes, and bending one knee, bending another into the chest. You're going to allow the body to roll all the way to one side of your mat, taking your hands underneath your head like a little pillow, just giving yourself a moment to come back into the room. Before, keeping the eyes closed and the head heavy, we press into the hands to lift the body all the way in to a comfortable seated position. When you found this position, you roll back the shoulders, sit tall here, bringing those hands in to your lap. And using the power of 3, we're going to release just a little bit more of that stagnant energy that might still be holding on to us. So on your inhale, draw these shoulders all the way up to the ears, squeeze them tight. And on your exhale, drop them down. Beautiful. 2 more times. We inhale. And we exhale. Drop them down. Final time. We inhale to draw them up. Exhale. Dropping them down, bringing the hands to prayer in the center of the chest and blinking those beautiful eyes open to come back into the room. Giving thanks to yourself for conquering the first flow of this 30 days of you. And I really hope you enjoyed today. If you have any questions, you're welcome to fire them at me on my Instagram @theyogiwitch, or just comment below. But as always, sending so much love, sending so much healing from my mat to yours. And I look forward to starting 2022 with all you beautiful souls. I'll see you tomorrow, my loves.